Joining us again is Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat of Massachusetts. She spent the earlier part of the evening plucking the feathers off Donald Trump, calling him a fraud, a racist bully, a whiner. She also did a pretty decent Mitch McConnell impression, which I had never seen before. Now Senator Warren is here with us. She's just endorsed Hillary Clinton for president. Senator, thank you again.
Thank you.
You enjoy talking about Donald Trump.
Yes.
Because obviously your criticism of him is heartfelt. What role do you see for yourself in this in this general election contest?
Oh, listen, I'm going to do everything I can to help Hillary Clinton get elected, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that Donald Trump never comes within shouting distance of the White House.
Has Hillary Clinton talked to you about the prospect of being her running mate? Have you been vetted? Have you? No conversations.
Nope.
Am I supposed to ask it more broadly? Have her people talked to your people?
I don't think so. You know, look, I know there's been a lot of speculation about this, but the truth is, I love the work I do. I can't tell you how grateful I am to the people of Massachusetts who sent me here to just wade into these fights. And now we're about to enter another big fight, and that is a general election fight that pits a tough woman who is willing to lead against a small, insecure bully who thinks he's going to get his way by throwing nasty tantrums, by giving people ugly names, by saying racist and other kinds of outrageous things. And we just can't let him be the leader of this country. We can line up. We can be part of Hillary Clinton's effort to be the president of the United States and to help do the things we care about in this country, to really help build a future. Because
you are, you're the person who's made it so that people like me don't know whether to call it the Sanders wing of the party or the Warren wing of the party. You are, as somebody who chose not to run for president yourself, despite a lot of people pressuring you to do that, you still wield enormous influence, and a lot of people on the left side of this party look up to you. That's why your endorsement was so coveted. I think that is also why Senator Sanders' supporters have been so upset that you didn't endorse him during the primary. They think it would have made a very big difference, and they're upset with you today and tonight because of this endorsement. What's your reaction to that? You know,
my reaction is that I thought it was important for the primary to go forward, and not to try to tilt it one way or the other, to try to get or to try to end it. That really what I wanted to see is I wanted to see Democrats out there talking about our core set of issues, and let people around this country vote, let people have caucuses, let them do it however they're going to do it. But the point is to get us engaged, and to get us engaged on that set of issues. I mean, Rachel, can we just think about how different it is today than it was 5 years ago? We talk today, we have open conversations about the best way to make sure that young people are going to be able to get an affordable education. That, gosh, this matters. You know, and just by the way, notice Trump's view of this. You know, Trump believes that you just cheat him. You know, that's what is happening right now. This is Trump University. We have talked about the best way to put more restrictions on Wall Street, to be able to rein Wall Street in tighter. And what do the Republicans say? Donald Trump, they say they're just going to roll back the Dodd-Frank regulations. They want to undermine the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. These are huge differences. Social Security. 5 years ago, the whole conversation around Social Security, I remember this. It was like some people said, the conservatives said, you cut it a lot. Right? And the moderates said, oh, you just cut it a little. And those of us who are genuinely progressive were saying, you know, this is terrible. And now what's the conversation about? The conversation is about what's the best way to make Social Security secure going into the future, and to make it work better for those who depend the most on it, for the millions of people for whom Social Security is all that stands between them and poverty, for the 14 million people who count on Social Security to put a roof over their heads and food on the table. These are the issues that Democrats brought forward, and that happened because we had a primary race. It happened because Bernie Sanders was in there fighting and because Hillary Clinton was in there fighting.
When President Obama recently moved on that issue and started talking for the first time about expanding Social Security, do you attribute that to the primary?
Look, you bet. Are you kidding? Because this is what the primary did. It's not just that two people got up and talked about something. It's that lots of people then got engaged and talked about it, so that their conversation was not a small conversation. It was a huge conversation. It was a conversation all across this country. And Barack Obama heard that conversation. He heard the American people, and I'll tell you, somebody else is going to hear it, and that is the Republicans are going to hear it. And it's going to be that kind of national conversation that's going to make real change in this country. We got to put wind in the sails here. We got to make this happen. But Bernie has given us these issues. He's given us this moment. He has brought this light to it, that we really can push this country in a better direction. We can help level the playing field.
This is a sort of an awkward question, and I don't want you to take it the wrong way. I don't mean this in kind of a celebrity way, nor do I mean it in a gossip way.
Okay.
I mean it for people who don't live in Washington or travel here or know how things work. I think there's a lot of curiosity as to where these conversations happen and how these negotiations happen and how parties move and how policies shift and how tone shifts. Do you personally talk to Bernie Sanders? Do you personally talk to Hillary Clinton? Do you have personal relationships with these people? Do you have personal relationships with the vice president or the president? Is it all business, or does some of this get worked out because some people like each other or because some people don't?
So, yeah, absolutely. And I have talked to people, you know, I've talked to Bernie, I've talked to Hillary, I've talked to people who work for them. But do understand about this, Rachel, what gives it power is the power within the idea itself and the fact that others care about it. So when you talk about Social Security, it's not just enough to say, me looking at you, this really matters. It's the fact that 1 million Americans think it matters. Oh, wait, it's 2 million Americans think it matters. No, it's 4 million Americans. It's 6, wait, it's 10, it's 50 million Americans who care about this. That's how we're going to make change. Here's how I look at this. The Republicans have had a real advantage over us for a long time. And the principal advantage they have had is they have concentrated money and concentrated power. And boy, when it's all concentrated, man, you can organize it, you can use it, you can get out there, you can run those negative ads, you can be effective, you can put money into campaigns. What do we got on our side? Yeah, we got some money, you know, some, and people put money in. But the reality is what we've got is we've got all the votes. We've got all the voices. There are so many more people on our side. And I'm not just talking Democrats here. You talk about those core issues, about Social Security, about college, about raising the minimum wage, about reining in Wall Street. You look at those core issues, and somewhere between 60% and 75% of all of America, that's Democrats, Republicans, independents, libertarians, vegetarians, they sign up and say, yeah, I'm for that. So the question is then, Rachel, why hasn't that happened? So why hasn't it happened? And the answer is because Washington, this place where we are right now, it is the bubble. It's the bubble that's created by the money. It is the bubble that is created by the contributions, by the lobbyists, by every part of this tight little circle. Our only chance to break out of that is that we got to say, against your concentrated money and power, we're going to put up our voices and our votes. And we're going to be here. We're going to be here in these elections, and we're going to make sure that the people who run for office and get elected are the ones who are going to work for the American people. That's what this is all about.
With that kind of a vision, I have one last question for you, and you'll know what I'm getting at, but take my question literally.
Okay.
And I know you're not seeking the job, and I know you love being a senator. But if you were asked to be Secretary Clinton's running mate, do you believe you could do it? And by that I mean the most important job of being a vice president is to be ready to be president if, God forbid, something happened to the commander-in-chief. I know you don't want the job, but do you believe you would be capable of stepping into that job and doing that job if you were ever called to do it? Because, and I ask you because Ed Rendell, former DNC chairman, former Pennsylvania governor, said recently that you were in not in any way, shape, or form ready to be commander-in-chief. I want to know if you think you could be.
Yes, I do.
Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, making this endorsement for the first time tonight, Hillary Clinton for president. Thank you for making that announcement on this show, and thanks for being willing to talk to me about it. Thanks. Great to see you.
take care.
Thanks. She's my senator, too. I'm very lucky.
You bet. My constituent.
We'll be right back.